Startup Podcast page is co-produced by Credit Hero, Y Spaces, Tuwala, Simp, Secuna, Schooltech by Edfolio, Maroon Studios, and Compare Loans. Check out our partners in the description.
Welcome sa Startup Podcast PH, inspiring more Filipino entrepreneurs and innovators. Live tayo ngayon dito sa Y Spaces, our partner coworking and event space here in BGC. At live din tayo sa Facebook. Hello. And we have Red Circle Global.
Thank you.
And we have the founder, Miguel Roldan. Hello, Miguel. Kamusta?
Yes. Thank you, boss, brother. It's an opportunity to be here. It's a blessing. And sabi ko nga, off-cam, we're talking. Sa lahat ng platform, I think isa sa pinaka-inclusive, equitable, yung ginagawa ng kapatid natin dito. Why? Kasi umikot ba naman ang buong Pilipinas? Diba? Nakakatuwa.
Yeah, kasi just to share, syempre share din tayo about Startup Podcast. Ang goal din talaga is, kumbaga ma-showcase ang Filipino ingenuity, innovations, ano bang kayang gawin ng Pilipino. So, syempre, hindi naman pwedeng Manila lang. So, we should really, I think, we should really go around the whole country. Kasi ang dami din talagang amazing na nangyayari all around. Pero ayun, actually, speaking of amazing din ang ginagawa ng Red Circle Global. Wow. Actually, recently I noticed na parang lumalaki. Lumalawak din ang, kumbaga, reach and market even ni Red Circle Global. Pero siguro, linawin muna natin sa ating audience. Ano nga ba, Miguel, ang Red Circle Global?
Well, Red Circle Global, it is an IT company that is directly focused on education technology solutions. www.redcircleglobal.com. Now, the only difference, yung differentiator po natin with other edtech, lahat naman po yan magaganda, napakaliit lang ng edtech world in the Philippines. Probably, we're not even 10 players. Sobrang liit lang. We are the only one in the whole country that offers, number one, one-time payment. Isang beses ka lang magbabayad. Number two, no hidden charges. Number three, turnkey solution. Ibig sabihin ng turnkey solution, ibibigay natin yung platform na umaandar based on the dynamics and protocol of that school. And pinakahuli, kasama source code. Saan ka nakakita nun? So, it is a true ownership. Hindi po siya subscription, hindi siya lisensya. But of course, bawal ibenta. Diba? Kasi syempre, we're talking about opportunities na sobra-sobra na nga ibebenta mo pa, magiging kalaban ka pa natin. So what's the beauty about one-time payment? And what's the beauty about having your own source code? What's the beauty about true ownership? Okay, simple lang. Number one, one-time payment, instead na kung ikaw eskwelahan at napakalaki na populasyon mo, imagine if you'll be paying 250 pesos to 500 pesos per head. That's a lot. That's serious money. And OPEX yan pumapasok every single year. You need to charge that to your stakeholders. Diba? Mahal yun. Kung 1,000 estudyante mo, 2.5 million na ang 2,500 ba? Right? Mahal yun. That's serious money. So, pag one-time payment, number one, bababa yung singil ng mga schools doon sa SIS fee, LMS fee, kasi one-time payment lang di ba?
So,
wala silang hinahabol.
Regardless of size, kumbaga ng school.
Regardless of the size.
Okay.
Yon. Number two, true asset ownership. Ibig sabihin, pwede nilang i-white label, sabihin nila, i-rebrand nila, and also, may accounting factor kasi yan. Pag asset yan, you can depreciate it. Return of investment ka kaagad 10 taon, assuming 10% depreciation every year. Pag asset yan, okay, ibig sabihin po nun, lahat na makokolekta po nila, revenue na nila. So we are the only system in the whole Philippines that is guaranteed ROI and guaranteed revenue generating. So that is our unique selling proposition.
Still filling out loan applications for your business? Yeah, thought so. Save your time. Grow your business. With Credit Hero, one online application gets you loan offers from multiple lenders. Apply for a business loan now. Visit credithero.com.
Ang galing, no? Well, I have two things I want to highlight here. First, as you said kanina, no, maraming edtech, palawak ang edtech space, maraming ibang edtech companies. But at the end of the day, somehow, pwedeng magkatalo, not just sa innovation, not just sa innovation sa features that you bring, but also sa business model. And I think here, malaki factor din na in-adapt nyo yung business model. Depende nga naman sa kung ano yung parang somehow beneficial din for the school, ano. Yung second na gusto ko i-highlight, kasi recently, I have a feeling na, or parang observation ko, ang mga medyo lumalaking startups ay what I call, or what many people call, B2B2C. Kumbaga, mayroong B2C na establishment, let's say, school nga, marami ang customers. Or even for example, in a big company, in a factory even, then may customers na maybe employees niya, and then you provide for that B. No? So, kung ikaw yung B, bago nung B2C, sinaserve mo yung business, pero yung business na yun, maraming customer, pwede mong somehow singilin per head. Pero apparently, ang bago sa business model nito is hindi pala per head ang ano. So, can I know more lang about that? Very interesting kasi na ganun yung ginawa ninyo. Tsaka maybe if you can you share ba rates ba? Or para lang mas may idea tayo?
Sure. Okay. Well, being a startup, you need to be disruptor and innovative. Otherwise, you're adding more to the problem, diba? Than to the solution. So, sa atin, our rates are transparent. We always publish that. Before we tried SaaS, software as a service, no? Recurring payment, and na-realize namin para ang hirap, no? Nung field na yon makigulo. Okay? Kasi you're competing with funded entities. Tayo, bootstrap to. We never ask a single centavo to investors, no? Diba? That's the reason why siguro we are more aggressive, we're more transparent, and we can move faster. Now, let's talk about rates. Our rates right now starts at 700,000 pesos. All in. From enrollment to graduation, kasama yung alumni management, may LMS pa. Sometimes we do promo, may kasama pang content. So it's really truly inclusive. If one will visit schools, makita nila, milyones ang ginagastos niya sa libro. Milyones ang ginagastos niya sa servers. Milyones ang ginagastos niya sa systems. Pwede naman pala one-time payment. Doon kami pumapasok sa picture. And wala pa kaming bidding na pumasok kami, nakita nila yung presentation namin na natalo kami. Why? Kasi through ownership, everybody likes that. Guaranteed ROI, sa asset hindi naman siya OPEX Any capitalization, you can depreciate it in just 10 years. Parang building, parang nagpatayo ka na classroom. And, ang pinaka-importante dito, revenue generating. So, it's really a dream for every school, no?
By the way, yung one-time payment, hindi siya recurring in time?
No.
Once.
One-time payment. And it's supported by contract na rine-review ng mga schools palagi.
So, somehow para pala siyang somehow lang nag-hire in-house, and then nung natapos ng project, kumbaga binigay na sa kanila. Sila na yung magmamanage. Somehow.
And the beauty about it, ang mga schools kasi, well, every organization, there's a litmus test. Should we buy or should we build? Or should we rent? Doon yung SaaS.
Yes.
Nananalo palagi yung buy na lang sa amin. Kasi if you will be computing it, no, if you're a small school, how much would it cost you? Let's say, ang uso ngayon sa SaaS, itatali ka 3 years. Di umaandar yung system, binabayaran mo kasi nakakontrata ka. Sa amin, hindi. You down ka lang na 50%, papaandar rin namin yan, saka ka magbayad ng balanse pag umaandar. So, kami lang gumagawa nun. That is really a disruptor.
Oh, galing. Pero sige, maybe baka may schools nga na nakikinig and maybe interested na rin, maybe bigyan natin laman yung exactly yung LMS or exactly yung management system na ginagawa ninyo. So, can you give more picture, like sino ba gumagamit, more of the admin ba or the students ba, exactly yung, not the itsura, no, pero yung feels niya, how really does it help, and most importantly, ano ba yung parang problem or ano yung pain point, kumbaga, na it really solves for the school, for the students, for the parents maybe, for the teachers?
Okay. Well, for the UI UX or user interface and user experience, you can visit our website, redcircleglobal.com/ETS. May demonstration doon. For the features, well, we have around 25 modules. And yung features itself, roughly 120 plus. No? Kasi 'di ba under those modules, may mga small features yan. Ang magagaranti ko lang dito, it's being updated every year. Why? Kasi may mga vouchers program eh. Napakahirap i-account ng vouchers. And we have perfected that. Kung may i-release na panibagong voucher ngayon ng government, I think kinder 1 to grade 6, magkaka-voucher na. We can do that, no? Easily. Okay, we can work with that matrix na resibo or normal printers. Then, let's talk about ano ba yung specific na mare-receive na package, 'di ba? Baka kulang naman. 'Di ba? Baka confident lang masyado si Miguel Roldan ng Red Circle mag-advertise. Well, ganito na lang. In every school that you'll be visiting, ang standard dyan, syempre nakikita yung grade sa internet, ang tawag dyan, student information system. Ang standard dyan, nagbabayad ka, nagpiprint ng resibo yung registrar, automated. Yan yung mga standard. Meron po tayo yan. Pero if we will benchmark schools overseas na talagang 100% digitalized, we can also cover that. May inventory system tayo. Alright? Yung reporting natin, very comprehensive. Alright? Merong alumni management system. LMS meron tayo. But it is not something like Moodle na may interactive blackboard. Pero, it is something useful. Alright? And, meron tayong chat system. The beauty about our platform, if ikaw magulang, may access ka sa SIS, may sarili ka account. Paano naman kung benefactor ka, nagpapaaral ka, mayroon ka rin sariling account. And we're the only one in the country who's doing that. Na turnkey under those perimeters. Talagang comprehensive siya. Clients nga tinatanong na lang sa amin, Red Circle, what if may gusto kaming ipagawa? What's the arrangement? Ang sinasabi po namin palagi, 100% as long as other schools can use it, we'll do it for free. But there's a development time. Of course, they need to wait for it. But in any case that there are features na hindi nag-exist at di magagamit ng ibang school para sa kanila lang, there's a very, very minimal charge lang. Even payroll system, kompleto kami. Yun. That's the beauty about it. Kaya nga, when our clients realize na parang, saan kayo nanggaling? Ba't ngayon lang namin kayo nakilala? But, ganito po kasi yan, no? Kami po, we tried the hard way. Nag-door-to-door kami. Ang eskwelahan, hindi mo mapapasok yan kasi, data privacy and the strictness kasi school yan eh. Nag-i-email blast po kami kada linggo. Baka kung may eskwelahan dito, 100% sure, nasa spam nyo kami. Makulit po kami dyan. And we also do send letters. Even though we're in the IT industry, we're one of the fewest advocates of snail mailing. We're a believer of snail mailing and that's how we get our clients.
I saw yung post mo sa LinkedIn about that. Yeah, I saw. Kasi it's really how you reach, no? It's really how you reach your intended market or users. Speaking of the users, do you have, maybe can you share lang kasi malawak ang schools eh. Maraming schools, diba? May private, public, may mga malaki, may mga maliit, may mga nasa city, may mga outside city. So, meron ba kayong apparently nata-target, maybe intentionally or maybe incidentally, na mga schools? May ganun ba?
Yes. Okay, that's a good question kasi eto naman more on for startup founders na dyan, no? Yung makaka-relate dito. Well, number one, wala kaming specific target market na parang ito lang yung papadala namin ng sulat, ito lang yung email blast namin.
Basta school.
Basta eskwelahan. However, we know sino talaga yung target audience natin or yung ideal customer profile. Our ideal customer profile, number one, educational institutions na normally family-owned. Kasi pag family-owned yan, hindi na nangungumisyon yan eh. Ayaw niya na mga free travel. Kasi ganyan ang laro sa education eh. Pag binili mo ko, bibigyan kita ng libreng travel abroad. Pag ang nagde-decide, syempre, hindi naman may-ari ng kumpanya talaga, chances are, yan yung mga gusto nila, yung mga freebies. Yan ang laro talaga sa education. Pagkausap mo may-ari, or yung mga ibang principal na talagang mababait, na hindi just give us the best price. Ayaw namin ng mga freebies. Panalo kami dyan palagi. Walang duda. Okay. Number 2, na-realize namin, ang ideal customer namin, these are schools with 10,000 below population. Why? Schools with 10,000 and above population, chances are, nag-invest na yan sa mga systems na mahal. SAP, Oracle, or yung mga mamamahaling accounting na tagsa 10 milyon. Eh, hindi yan para nag-invest sila ng 10 million, pagkas papasok ka, magkano lang yung benta mo. Eh, they will appear bad sa stakeholders nila, 'di ba? Kasi mura talaga tayo eh, disruptor tayo and our system is working. So may mga ganun dynamics yan, no, sa mga startup founders. Yan na reality diyan, no. It does not mean that your system is working, lulusot ka. May dynamics talaga yan, no. Okay. Pangatlo, ang ideal customer namin talaga, alright, ito yung mga ine-embrace na nila yung digitalization. Okay. Kasi pag ine-embrace mo yung digitalization, nare-realize mo na, teka lang, this may not be the best system and we will never claim that we're the best system. That will be very unrealistic. Pero we need a springboard. We need to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Doon kami pumapasok. Saka panghuli, yung mga napasok sa SaaS, siyang mahal eh. Pagkas nare-realize nila, ang hirap pala kausap minsan. You know, why? Kasi, bayad eh. May kontrata 3 taon eh. Diba? Magkakasuhan kayo para maputol yung kontrata. So, sometimes, customer service, doon nagmamatter eh. Parang sa school, alam nyo, pag pumasok po kayo sa industriya na to, marirealize nyo na walang perfect na education system. Palaging merong complaint or feedback na negative ang kahit sinong school client sa kahit sinong IT vendor. Pero, ang differentiator, kung kanino sila masaya. Kasi, yun yung mabilis yung feedback.
By the way, by school, is this elementary, preschool, high school, college, or any?
Elementary, college, TESDA, we can cater everything.
Okay. Ito yung medyo I'm wondering din when you're talking about the one-time business model. Well, baka pwedeng hindi mo sagutin kasi baka business secret or baka may secret plan ka pero parang in what I see, kumbaga you're disrupting through cost, no? Talagang pasok through cost. And then of course, syempre hindi man ibig sabihin nun na mako-compromise yung quality and yung customer service. I think top pa rin kayo dun. Pero yung recurrence ng sustainability nito as a business model. So, kasi one time lang eh. Di mauubos lahat ng school yan eh. So, yun lang.
Okay. That's the differentiator, no? Yung business mindset. Okay. Ganito po. We know our market. You compute roughly 13,200 educational institutions. Okay. So,
sige. Mag-math tayo
mag-compute
dito.
po tayo kasi para may props tayo.
13,000 times 700,000.
13,200 educational institution. Kasama ni nagsara dyan. 13,800 yan eh.
Okay, sige.
Alright. So, assuming mo na lang, pero ang average contract namin 1.5 million eh. Pero assuming na lang, ang kinuha sa amin, the smallest package, 784,000.
Okay.
That is already 10.3 billion at 100% penetration rate. And definitely, we're not even aspiring to get that. Diba? Pero at 100% penetration rate, that is 10.3 billion. Eh, 1% lang kunin namin dyan, 103 million. Diba? And we are cash flow positive. We don't have investors. Masaya na kami. Diba?
Interesting.
So, now, let's talk about sustainability. Okay. Simple lang naman yan. When clients are happy with you, there will always be repeat businesses. There will always be modification. Red Circle, pa-revise mo nga to. Red Circle, na-realize namin ang sweldo pala ng IT, 20,000 to 25 kahit probinsya. In 1 year, na-realize namin, kasama 13-month pay, that's around 260,000.
Oo nga, no?
Bakit hindi na lang kaya kayo mag-maintain nito? Bigyan ko kayo kalahati. We can also do that, no?
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Trust the digital future with Twala. Secure and tamper-proof digital signature. Electronic notarization service. And custom AI agents for intelligent document workflows. Visit twala.io to learn more. In today's digital world, your organization needs more than just technology. It needs a strategic partner. At Symph, we build web and mobile apps that drive innovation for startups, enterprises, and organizations worldwide. Visit symph.co today.
Protect your assets from bugs before bad hackers exploit them. And launch your products seamlessly with Sakuna, your trusted partner in cybersecurity. Receive reports in real time and work with security experts to find bugs in your products before others do. Let's make your security our priority.
Oh, actually. Tsaka yun din pala yung somehow difference dito. Correct me if I'm wrong baka yung mga SaaS ba, may nag-i-in-house IT pa sila or pwedeng hindi. Kasi di ba pag SaaS, they don't need in-house IT to maintain.
Palaging may, well, the ideal concept, the ideal structure is you need to always have an eyes and ears because your vendors might cheat on you. So, kahit sa ASEAN, palaging meron silang kausap na IT.
Bagay, Pero ang galing, unique, I mean, well, not that unique, I mean, fresh, very fresh. Kasi recently sa mga nakakausap ko, laging ang iniisip when it comes to business model, yung recurringness nga or yung parang Pero dito, actually, kumbaga you're somehow betting or you're somehow, yung one time, then malaki yan one time And then, tama nga naman, once you get the happiness of your customer, baka pwedeng hindi lang school management yung business na ipagawa nila. Pwedeng iba kasi you're developers naman, So, I don't know, baka maybe sa school bus or whatever, wherever, diba? So, ibang usapan yun, ibang kontrata yun, kumbaga. Speaking of that, si Red Circle Global ba, do you intend it to be edtech, school management talaga, or is it broader than that? Is it larger than that?
Well, Red Circle Global, it's really a boutique IT house. Meaning to say, everything under the sun, we can do it. However, you cannot really be a generalist in a climate, business climate, whereas everything can be prompted, diba? By coding. Then there are a lot of intelligent people out there. Professor po ako ng IT sa FEU Tech. So, matatalino ang mga bata ngayon. Okay. And what we've realized, bakit ka ba nagninegosyo? Siguro kung social entrepreneur ka, gusto mo impact lang. Tama? Advocacy. Kasi pwede ka umasa sa donations. Kami po kasi, we're doing business because we have family to feed. Very, very straightforward. And, we just recently came back from China and Hong Kong. Napakasaya po bumiyahe kasama yung mga kasama mo sa trabaho. Okay. And these people are betting on the growth of the company. So, hindi po kami napapakain ng valuation. And we tried to raise money multiple times and we realized, I am an average Filipino. Most of the founders, they are from Silicon Valley. Ba't ka mamumuhunan sa third world country? Let's be realistic, di ba? So now, yung mga funders na makukuha mo ngayon, mga taga-Pilipinas din, na sobrang tataas ng standards, metrics, and they're, it requires above average level of charisma and personality. Hindi naman po kami ganyan. Kami po, negosyante kami out of survival. And we always believe na sabi nga po ni how do you want me to call you, brother?
Johnny.
Ni Johnny. No? Ano yung recurring income nyo? Sa mga viewers natin dyan, bigyan mo ko ngayon ng income na 100 million, masaya ako I can do a lot of things. So, That's how we do business, no? We are profitability muna. Kasi kami po, pag hindi kami cash flow positive, paano namin mapapasahod yung mga tao namin?
And well, ang inisip ko din kasi recently sa mga startups, meron kasi mga startups na like they give shares, parang they give equity to their founding employees, even if employee, I think ang setup na rin now is really direct salary sa mga tao, sa team, kumbaga, Pero anyway, sige, napunta na tayo sa story, eh. And you mentioned nga, na professor ka pala from FEU?
FEU Tech. Design thinking and technopreneurship and human-computer interaction.
Sige, can we know a bit more of your background? Maybe paano ka naging professor, maybe. And then paano ka napunta sa tech space? And bakit nga ba Red Circle Global? Bakit ka napunta sa edtech space? And even why business? Why not become an employee?
Alright. Siguro, let's talk about sa pagiging professor muna. Kasi medyo nakakatuwa yun, no? First, I'm your average student. Nag-repeat pa nga ako nung high school. Although na-accelerate ako, ang una kong tinapos, culinary arts. I'm 18 years old at that time.
Chef?
Nasal Bacolod. Yun.
May Bacolod, sarap, grabe.
Yes,
Pagkain, chicken and asal.
Tama. Yan yung una kong tinapos. Then, for roughly 8 years, trabaho ko into sales. Nagmaliit na negosyo tayo, lugi. I decided I need to go back to school. At the age of 26, first year college. PUP Open University. Yes, School of Second Chances. Because I was humble enough to realize, teka lang, when you enter the boardroom, iba talaga eh. Alam mo talaga sino aral, sino hindi. Di ba? The choice of vocabulary, di ba? Iba talaga eh. The demeanor, the way of thinking, alam mo yung aral. Pero at that time, I'm very thankful with PUP. So hello sa 100,000 PUP aspirants kakatapos na ng exam. 28,000 lang yata yung pumasok. I'm very happy kasi they gave us a second chance. Kada Sabado lang yung pasok. Every other Saturday, modular lahat. So, pwede ako mag-grind, pwede ako mag-work. Now, pandemic came, hindi ako nakamarcha, nag-enroll ako ng PUP Law School, 1 SEM. But, law school is not for me. It's a profession that you should respect. Di yan pwede na trip mo lang. So, I went back to, mag-negosyo lang. Alam mo yon. Then, na-realize ko, what if mag-masters ako? Nag-masters ako, education management. Then, right now, I'm doing PhD. I'm a researcher in education governance.
In
No, PCU. Polytechnic, Philippine Christian University. Then, syempre, hindi ka naman pwedeng nagpi-PhD researcher ka for education governance. Tapos, hindi ka nagtuturo. So, nagturo ako sa PCU, marketing. Then, nagturo ako sa FEU kasi technology naman. Yon. And, masaya naman tayo doon. Kaya, eto, sabi ko nga, when I sell this to clients, I'm wearing 4 hats. Ma'am, estudyante po ako. Ongoing. Ma'am, guro po ako. I know your pain. 'Di ba? Ma'am, business owner rin po ako. And pinakahuli sa lahat, ma'am, nagtitipid din ako. So, I know how they think, no? Oo. Kung sa design thinking pa, yung empathy, talagang tinadtad ko yan. Nandun ako sa lahat.
Pero sales no? I mean, sales connecting really to what the buyer really relates to and wants. Sige, so interesting actually, no? So parang kumbaga ang motivation din really is education. Well, tama naman talaga, especially in the Philippines. Malaking bagay ang education. It really matters pagdating mo sa battlefield if you're really educated, well educated actually. So why business? And ayun.
Well, business, it's really out of survival. Yun lang.
Hindi ba mas madali mag-survive kung employee? Kasi mas stable income.
Pwede naman, siguro kung mga C-level employee ka, mataas yung ranggo mo, I mean, ayoko naman maging pilosopo, baka may nanonood dito na CEO, 3 million ang month yung sweldo, talaga namang maganda yan, di ba? Pero, it depends before ka maging CEO and bigyan ka ng 3 million na salary, or kung whatever salary man yan na mataas, anong problem sinosolve mo? Malamang mabigat din. Para kanino? 'Di ba? So, I'm already 35, turning 36, no, this coming May 15. Matanda na ako, nakita ko na I want to build something for myself and for my family. Something that I cannot, I cannot say na hindi ko kaya ipasa. Gusto ko yun na ipapasa ko, yung nada-download ko. I am a father right now. My child has a Down syndrome. So, education for me is more than a business. If I can disrupt the education scene, I can automate it. At ma-improve ko yung proseso, mas kikita ang eskwelahan, alam nyo po, tataas ang sweldo ng guro. Kasi they have more money. Mas magiging efficient yung sistema. 'Di ba? At pinakahuli, hindi matatakot yung mga normal na tao mamuhunan sa education sector. Kasi may system na eh.
Oo. Galing. Tsaka interesting dito, no, is, well, to be honest, profit, pera ang motivation sa mo, no? Pero
Survival.
Exactly. Pero at the end of the day, in order to disrupt the system, you didn't maximize your profit like the usual way. You thought of a way, mas mababa yung presyo, pero actually, it can still give you that goal that you want actually, and ang ganda din nung parang motivation nito at the end of the day is, well, to improve the overall education system. Tama nga naman, if it's seamless, if mas maraming schools ang maka-adapt dahil it's a better costing, it's a better service, mas kakalat agad ang digital system sa mga school and magiging better din ang education at the end of the day. Now, if I may ask naman about sa pag-build ng business. So, when nga ba nag-start si Red Circle? Tsaka, how did you build the team? Kasi yun din yung hardest part dito, finding people you can trust, finding possibly yung mga magiging leaders. So, how was that naman?
Well, number one, I started this around 2018. Second year college ako. Hindi ako graduate na IT. The story that I always keep on sharing, alam nyo po yung sulit.com.
Yes.
Naging carousel. Nag-search po ako dyan. Ako po, dakilang window shopper online. Okay. May nakita ko na for some reason, medyo maganda talaga yung sulit.com. Ang dami lang nagsa-spam. Pero maganda talaga kasi kung ano makikita mo eh. May nagbebenta na RFID system, 50,000 pesos lang. Yung pag nagtap-text. Alam nyo, ang produkto kasi, depende yan sa appreciation. Sure ako nakita nyo na yung sa internet yung tubig. Ang costing ng tubig is parang wala pang 3 pesos, di ba? Pag binili raw sa mga 7-Eleven, nagiging 15. Pag sa airport daw, 100.
Yeah.
Hindi mo rin masisisi yung binilan ko ng RFID system. Bakit masaya na siya sa 50,000 pesos? Kasi para sa kanya, okay na to. So, binili ko. At kaya niya rin yung ibenta sa iba ha. Pero doon na pumapasok yung diskarte, yung grind. Tinanong ko, kasi I'm bankrupt at that time eh. Sabi ko, sir, pag binili ko po ba yan, may warranty, 1-year warranty? Yes, meron. Aandar po ba yan? Yes, meron. Sabi ko, sir, ganito, straight to the point, reseller ako. Pwede ko ba yung white label? Yes, pwede rin. Kasi gusto niya lang 50,000, yun na yung happiness niya eh. Diba? We cannot blame the guy. Okay, sabi ko, sir, ganito. Pag yan po ba binenta ko, pag tas maraming bumili, kaya nyo i-shoulder. Baka mamaya, sir, mainggit kayo pag nalaman nyo, malaki yung tubo ko. Hindi, okay na yan. Ang ginawa ko ganito, I'm bankrupt ha. Nagpadala ako ng sulat sa 100 eskwelahan. Those details, kaya mo i-google. Yung 100 na pinadala ko ng sulat na yun, ang kapital ko nun mga 15 pesos. So, that's around 1.5. Yung papel saka yung envelope, Galing yun sa ano ko, ex girlfriend. Yun, nabanggit pa, no?
Shout out.
Ina-acknowledge naman natin lahat. So, nag-print kami ng sulat. May tumawag sa akin 10 after 2 weeks.
Oh,
Field
wow.
post kasi mabagal talaga yun eh. 2 weeks na
Ano
na-release.
laman ng mail? I mean, how did you, ano laman?
Parang cold email.
Na you're offering the system, ganyan.
Sa 10 na yon, I think 3 lang na presentan ko, 1 na close ko. Kakilala ko pa yung may-ari. Ayoko sabihin na kilala. Nung kinu-close ko, hindi ako nagpapakilala. Kasi baka it's either tawaran ako or mamaya di mo alam yung isip ng tao. Wag tayo bumili dyan, kilala ko yan, baka di ko mapagalitan yan. So talagang incognito. Nung na-close ko na sa kanya nalaman. So ang arrangement nun, isipin nyo to you do your math po kung may papel kayo. 50,000 yung system. I-deploy nyo yung system, 50% down or 25,000 pesos. Anong ginawa ko? Binenta ko siya 250,000 pesos. One-time payment. Installation fee. Plus 250 pesos per student. Nag-start ako sa din. May 800 student siya. Magkano lang yung RFID card na yan? Huwag na tayo magbulahan. Nakukuha ko yan 12 pesos. Ngayon nakukuha ko na even lower. Okay, mura lang yon. Magkano lang yung lanyard? Pagawa ka dyan sa internet, 20 pesos lang yan. 'Di ba? Magkano, nagbigay ako ng libreng printer. Magkano lang ang printer? 50,000. The rest is history. I think I made around $10,000 there. And starting 2018, kasi ang technically 1 year, no? Kung 365 days. Pero umabot siya 2 years pag calendar kasi ang school year kasi June, 'di ba? Dati. Every year we made millions already.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wait, yung RFID until ba ngayon ginagamit pa rin yan sa yung parang attendance ba yan?
Yes, oo.
So RFID sa
Meron pa rin yun.
ID ng mga
ID
students
ng mga students,
to track their attendance sa gate.
Saka yung mga texting,
So parang automatic na when they tap sa gate ng school
nagte-text
sa magulang.
Doon kami nag-umpisa before kami maging full end-to-end.
Oh, so ayun pala. So attendance system and then ngayon yung parang talaga school management na
Yes,
even the classes, right? Even the grades, even
lahat.
the payment, no? So
Lahat.
lahat na talaga nung kumbaga yung buong digital and tech system ng eskwelahan. So nag-start ka mag-isa ka lang.
At that time hindi. Nag-start ako 2. Okay, pag non-technical founder ka, you really need to hire a technical personnel. Ang salary niya at that time 17,000 but I can cover it kasi nga may pera na.
Oh. Ang galing, no? I mean, marami kasi sa mga estudyante ngayon, even nung ako, well, I'm a few years younger than you. Pero parang nung graduate ako ng college, never kong naisip mag-business eh. Ang mindset talaga, I'm from UP imagine medyo weird nga eh. I'm sorry to say, pero pag UP ka, you're actually being molded somehow to be an employee. Somehow. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Baka i-bash ako eh. Pero anyway, at least ako, ganun ako, no?
UP, ano ka?
Diliman.
I mean, film,
engineering. Yeah, engineering. Weird, no? But anyway, ayun, so, saan, tas yung kinento mo na yung sa RFID na yung parang rinesell mo yung sa sulit. Para siyang yung sila, mga Wall Street, ganyan, yung mga Jordan Belfort, so, saan nanggaling yung idea na yun na you can actually, imagine, di ba, kumita ka ng, let's say, $10,000 in a year. Kumbaga, ang normal Filipino graduate nga, ang mindset lang is to earn 20,000 per month. So, parang mayroon siyang mindset ng somehow abundance or parang posible pala ng malaki, di ba? Posible pala ng malaki yung kitain, not just from basic employment. So, how did that start? How did that, or dahil lang ba talaga survival nga and you, or may napanood ka ba or something?
Well, take note, 35 na ako turning 36, then I struck my gold mine 28, 7 years ago. Prior to that, itanong niyo po kung anong ginagawa ko starting when I was younger, no? Until 28, bankrupt ako. Ako ay yung kung pataasan ng ambisyon, pataasan ng pangarap. When I'm young, I'm really young. I was aspiring yung mga first unicorn, $1 billion valuation kasi pumupunta ako sa Singapore eh. Nagpipitch talaga ako eh. Ayaw sa akin ng mga investor. Siguro, it's because number one, I'm not that educated. At kahit sabihin mo naman dropout sila Mark Zuckerberg, ganyan. Isa naman sila dropouts, Stanford. 'Di ba? Sa kasino ba sila? Mga bigatin din.
May study yan actually, may scientific study na investors tend to invest more, higher tendency to invest if you have a higher educational degree.
Yes. So yun, no, saka talagang tinadtad tayo ng lugi. Ang dami ko ng ideas, no, na magaganda talaga mag-work. Pero ang tanong, ba't ako pupundohan? High risk ako eh. 'Di ba? Kung may credit rating, mataas yung risk ko. Hindi ka graduate eh, but 'di ba, before working on other projects and leading people more intelligent than you need to work on yourself first. 'Di ba? Unless siguro may napatunayan ka talaga. Like, yung sabi ko nga sa inyo, lahat na mga fairy tale story sa Silicon Valley na mga naging billion-dollar founder, tech dropout, ganyan, nasan ba sila? Nandun sila sa epicenter ng activities. Nasan ba ako? Di ba? So, nasa third world country ako. Di ba? Ano ba alam nila sa Pilipinas? Di ba? And I'm not even that eloquent in speaking English like the way how they speak English. So, medyo na-humbled ako, na grounded po tayo. Hinatak tayo ng panahon na, ano ba yan, $1 billion, just survive. So, yun. It's all about survival. I will not play smart here. I'll not play messiatic. Talagang survival. I just need food on the table.
Ito next question ko. Naririnig ko to when I listen sa isang podcast, yung How I Build It. Do you know that?
Hindi pa, sir.
NPR. Medyo na ipapaisip din ako eh sa tanong na to. Pero usually tinatanong nung podcast na yun sa mga guest nila na mga founders, mga startup founders. How much of like the startup success or your success would you attribute sa luck, swerte, and sa hard work? I mean, 50-50, 90-10. Kasi, see, I want to hear your opinion about that.
Well, I cannot downplay the role of luck. That's number one. All right. Some spiritual people, they call it a blessing from God. We always acknowledge God, creator of heaven and earth. Some non-spiritual people, they call it, depende, no? Kung ano yung mga intellectual terminologies nila. But definitely, someone out there, or there's an external force who's really pulling the strings. Okay? I'm a believer of that, no? Yun, hindi natin i-deny. Kaya nga, pag tayo nagdadasal, sinasabi ko, marami na naman tayo natutunan through hardships. Baka naman pwede matuto tayo through prosperity. Hindi naman masama yun eh. Di ba? Iba nga nadadapa sila, bilyonaryo pa rin. So, ganun. That's my answer to that. But definitely, hindi sa pagmamayabang, it will never be higher than 50%. While I acknowledge that there's an external factor, may kilos pa rin talaga. Kasi, wala eh. Kahit naman ikaw yung nagbibigay ng swerte, gaganahan ka ba basbasan yung taong tamad? Di ba?
Yeah, true.
Now, may kilos pa rin.
Yeah. So, kilos at swerte. Wow. And so, actually parang in what I see, parang ang taas din talaga ng ambition or nung nakikita mo. Kumbaga, somehow siya baka innate sa iyo, or maybe nga through your experiences, parang you really aspire to have something big. Now, ang next question is, ano nga ba ang ambisyon ni Red Circle? Ano nga ba yung big na yan? School ba muna? All schools in the Philippines? Or really bigger than that? Or even outside the Philippines pala? So, ano ba talaga yung ambition? And this matters kasi napansin ko rin yung mga startup founders, talagang nag-matter yung ambition, or parang psychological ceiling nung nakikita nilang kaya nilang gawin, nung what they expect actually from themselves and from their company. So, feeling ko factor yun, baka nga factor yun na the higher, of course factor yun, skill, ang hard work, ganyan, pero somehow factor din ata yung psychological ceiling kumbaga on what your ambition really is. So, sige, what can you say about that?
Well, ako, hindi ako pretentious na tao eh. So, I have a target in mind right now that I'll never be ashamed to share. Every single year, I am a millionaire in peso. Okay. But I want to be a millionaire in dollar. So that is something realistic,
times
no?
50, times 60 na pala, times 59.
Kasi yung iba nga nagpa-pump fun lang eh. Alam mo yung mga nagla-livestream lang pagtas meme coin. Diba? Hindi naman siya hindi naman siya imposible rin. Kasi sabi ko nga may direksyon naman tayo, may negosyo naman tayo. For some, kasi syempre sa startup community, alam mo ba, marami dyan mga amboy. Ang mga taga-US, PhilAm na
Yes.
they became good employees, nag-retire sila, punta sila sa Philippines, may $1 million, $2 million sila. Good for them. But you need to understand, Pilipino ko. Tataya nga ako ng loto kung 20 million yung jackpot eh. So, how much more magka-resulta ko, cash flow, money that I can spend, na for me, imposible siya. You know, my bank, my DTI registration before ako mag-corporation. The name, bankrupt ako eh. Tukamas, IT Solutions. Ini-issuean ako ng client, check it, TCITS. And I reached my first Tukamas in just 1 year. Peso nga lang. So my goal right now is to reach my first 2 kamas in US dollars.
Or 3 kamas. Wow.
Why not, di ba? 3 kamas in peso, di ba?
1 billion pala yun.
Oo.
Pero why not? Why not?
Why not, di ba? Bankrupt ako. Isipin mo, naka-reach ako 2 kamas. So,
by the way, so yung team nyo pala sa Red Circle, how big ba kayo? And do you plan to make it bigger? Like, maybe a large company, tipong mga Google na hundreds or maybe thousands of employees?
we are less than 10. We are asset light. We have a lot of consultants, seasonal employees, but we are asset light. Why? Si Instagram nga, 32 employees, nakakuha ng $1 billion buyout.
Actually.
Si WhatsApp nga, di ba, 50 billion plus, 30 plus lang sila, 50 plus. Telegram, it's not on the quantity, it's on the quality. Saka, masarap ba buhay ng empleyado mo? Di ba, baka ang laki nga ng team mo, panay intern naman, pagtapos, linoloko mo yung client mo, nagbayad sa'yo ng mahal, gumagawa, intern. Alam mo yun, lahat na ginagawa namin quality and all the people are happy.
So, depende din, no? Kasi you're halos purely tech-based talaga eh. You develop a product, you give. Parang wala, minimal yung service that you need eh. Of course, meron pa rin yan parang turnover, diba? Parang training somehow to them. Ano?
Yes.
Pero parang minimal eh. No? So, you don't really need manpower or employee talaga eh.
Saka well, ang mga non-negotiable employee ko, number 1, executive assistant ko. Because I'm all over places. Number 2, meron talaga akong non-negotiable na 4 na IT. Non-negotiable yun. Yun. And the rest, sa totoo lang, kaya namin tumakbo kahit kami lang. I mean, kaya lang, may mga clients kasi na kailangan nakikita in person yung tao, representative ng kumpanya. Kaya may seasonal employees kami.
Okay.
Diba?
Education is evolving, and so are we. Introducing School Tech by Edfolio, your all-in-one school management solution. Built for schools of all sizes, School Tech bridges the gap between school and learning management. Driven by passion, School Tech makes educational technology accessible, affordable, and easy to use for schools everywhere. With an integrated approach, School Tech simplifies management across different departments and enhances efficiency in operations. School Tech transforms the way schools manage, teach, and learn. School Tech, taking school management solutions to the next level.
Running a business? Make it smarter with Red Circle Global. Streamline operations, boost productivity, and manage everything in one powerful ERP system. Book your free business demo today at redcircleglobal.com, guided by one of our top experts.
And by the way, siguro, I think public naman, no? So, ang office nyo actually ay, okay lang may announce?
Yes, sa Wise Spaces.
Ito, ang kanilang office na ngayon. So, very recent lang, di ba? Actually?
Yes, very recent lang.
So, kung nasaan tayo ngayon, shout out to Wise Spaces. Ito na rin ang physical and virtual office na kinuha ng Red Circle Global. Ayun. Sige, may part 2 pa tayo actually, Miguel, for the other startup that you're building. So,
compare loans.
wrap up na muna natin to. If our listeners want to know more about Red Circle Global, baka may school, baka may anyone needing IT tech, how can they know more? How can they contact you?
Okay, Charlie Echo Oscar, CEO at redcircleglobal.com. Direct email ko yan. And yung website natin, kung ayaw nyo mag-email sa amin, curious lang kayo, www.redcircleglobal.com.
Ikaw ba ang nag-reply? O syempre hindi, no? Kasi,
Hindi.
syempre, mahirap
Pero yung
na yun.
CEO, ako yung nag-reply doon.
Kasi, okay, ayun. Sige, ayun, grabe, thank you, Miguel, for sharing. Actually, very refreshing, kasi Filipino bootstrap, grabe talaga yung mga ganong startups, nas high ambition, tapos na-execute, kahit medyo, since 2018, 8 years, it's not that long actually. So, grabe, congrats din, and, wow, actually, sa nagawa ni Red Circle. Thank you, Miguel.
Thank you.
And thank you sa ating listeners. Salamat.
Thank you very much to our 64 patrons. This episode is super powered by AskLex PH Academy, our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and more. Architect Space Solutions. Architect provides ground station services, space data analytics, and technology supplies while partnering with government, academia, and industry to grow the Philippines' role in the global space ecosystem. DVCO Technologies Incorporated. IT Solutions specializing in software development, blockchain smart contracts, digital wallets, and cybersecurity. NutriCoach. Personalized nutrition and weight loss programs for you. Argum AI. Make smarter decisions by presenting both sides of an issue as argued by two distinct AI models. Pixel by ePlayment. Turn content into opportunity, grow deeper connections, and earn more. Only with Pixel. Sign up at pixel.eplayment.co. School of Profits. Filipino community for aspiring freelancers, VAs, agency builders, and online earners. Built to help you start, grow, and earn online together. Founders Launchpad, our ecosystem partner, early stage accelerator providing venture capital funding, operational support, and mentorship. Hire Business Solutions, provider the most configurable cloud-based payroll system in the Philippines. Agile Data Solutions, the Philippines' fastest growing market insights tech company with its data gathering platform, HustlePH. SmileChecks, streamlined hiring and onboarding with automated background checks. Cloud CFO, cloud accounting service provider for business ready to grow. Cloverly, all-in-one digital platform for property developers. Body Beaties, accessible and personalized diabetes self-management application. HKB Digital Services, tech-based business tools including payroll, ticketing, and loyalty rewards. Hyperstocks, digital banking enabler for rural and thrift banks. One CFO, CFO services, bookkeeping and tax, payroll processing for startups and small businesses. Wonderbrand, data science-driven brand strategy and design for emerging markets. This episode is powered by Jossie AI, Uplift Code Comp, Board Prep, Kansan Barley, East Point Business Outsourcing Services, Filipina Home-Based Moms, Hex Colony, Jur.ph, Big Giant Games, Pahatid PH, Sugbudok, Algacon Aquafeeds Juan Alj, Grey Wolf Technologies Philippines, Pareto Consulting, Sirius MD. Support the podcast through the links in the description.